Good afternoon everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are going to be looking at A-level biology under what we call endosymbiotic theory. So endosymbiotic theory simply states that first, before we look at the definition, endo means inside, symbiosis simply means to say a mutual relationship between two or more parties. So now endosymbiotic theorem simply states that the mitochondria and the chloroplasts were once prokaryotes before they were engulfed by a eukaryote. The eukaryote is the bigger cell that we discuss about. So imagine this is your eukaryote. Then we have a prokaryote such as the mitochondria and the chloroplasts here. So these were once prokaryotes before they were engulfed. So engulfed can simply mean to say they were swallowed. So as you can see, they entered. So now the nature of things is that whenever a cell engulfs another cell, it must digest it. However, it did not do that due to its benefits that it gained. For example, when we look at the chloroplast here, we look at our mitochondria here, the benefit is that the chloroplast ability to make food and the mitochondria's ability to make energy from the food made by the chloroplast made the cell to decide not to digest it. So this mutual relationship is what we call the endosymbiotic theorem. So let's just write the definition. So we have said that the endosymbiotic theory simply states that the chloroplast and the mitochondria were once prokaryotes before they were engulfed, or rather swallowed. So we are now going to further look at the evidence surrounding the claim of endosymbiotic theorem. So now let's look at these. Why were they called like they were initially prokaryotes? What are the evidence surrounding that claim? So firstly, when you look at the mitochondria, already it is membrane bound. So as you can see, we have already the inner membrane here, we have the outer membrane here. So it is membrane bound. It is also said to be semi-autonomous. We are going to talk about that. Now, some of the evidence is that the mitochondria, as you can see, has got its own DNA, its own ribosomes. However, the ribosomes are named as 70S ribosomes, which are ribosomes found in the prokaryotes. So these are the things that the mitochondria has. So same applies with the chloroplast. The chloroplast has got an outer membrane. It has also an inner membrane. So it is membrane bound. That's the number one thing. The chloroplast also has got its own DNA in an aqueous fluid which we call the stroma. So the DNA is found here. So already it has got DNA. It also has got some ribosomes, the 70S. So this is the reason why the endosymbiotic theorem is supported. Let's also look at what they mean by saying that it is both of these are semi-autonomous. So semi-autonomous. Autonomous means to say it is independent, but semi means half. So this means to say they are half independent. So why do they say so? Because of their DNA. That's number one. The number two thing that they have is that because they have their own ribosomes. However, they are called semi-autonomous because their ribosomes are only able to make a few proteins. So they rely most of their other proteins from the main cell. So if this is the main cell, then we have the, let's say, the mitochondria here, we have the chloroplast here. Both of these rely from the proteins that are made by the bigger organisms, and also for their transport of nutrients they rely mainly from the bigger cell that engulfed them. So now this is a mutual relationship. That's why it's called an endosymbiotic theorem. So that is why it is called that. Thank you very much for watching my video. Hope you would like, subscribe and share for more.